But if he winds up dead, with everything you've done since he disappeared, the lies you told,
I haven't seen the phone.
you're gonna be fucked.
I haven't seen no phone.
And I'm not talking about fucks like Taylor was gonna fuck you. You're gonna be fucked.
This is what it looks like when a detective becomes intimidating. Roberts shifts gears in tone, posture, and pauses to try and test which version of intimidation might make Stephen crack. He's playing bad cop, sleepy cop, awkward cop, whatever might rattle Stephen's mask.
Okay. Where's George's phone at?
I don't know.
It was at the house when you and Kelly were there on Wednesday night.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Okay, why'd you lie to me about that?
Sir, y'all are wrong.
Sure.
Now meet Stephen. He's more offended by being doubted than by the idea of being a murderer. His whole vibe is giving, oops, my bad, I might have killed someone, but don't hold that against me energy.
I'm looking at the wrong thing.
No, I'm looking at everything.
A man offers shelter to someone trying to rebuild his life. Weeks later, he vanishes. His body is discovered in a landfill, strangled to death. The last person to see him alive was an ex-convict with a lot of explaining to do. This is the interrogation of Stephen Yinger, a textbook example of why the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover, doesn't always apply. What followed was an interrogation that would last for 13 hours before Stephen's girlfriend would come forward and reveal his evil secret.
What are you here for?
He said driving while suspended license.
Pretty cold.
I'm
I am too. It's either freezing up here, it's hot up here. Just never know. You're Stephen Yinger. Okay.
This is such a shitty thing to go to jail for.
Yeah.
Driving with suspended license.
Little does he know, his next stop is a prison cell for something far bigger and far darker.
Are you working anywhere?
No, sir.
I didn't realize. I know who you are now. I didn't realize who you were then because I'm working a missing persons case, or I'm one of a number of investigators that's working a missing persons case.
Yes, sir.
And I knew that they were going out to try to speak with you. I didn't realize that you were arrested for something or anything. Tell me again, what are you arrested for?
Driving on a suspended license. He called me and asked me if I could meet him. That was important. So it was the only way I could get there.
Given the totality of the circumstances, with what's more important is Jorge. Do you call him Jorge or George?
George.
Okay, George being like your roommate or landlord, and roommate. What do you guys? Roommate. Okay. Yeah, I would have much rather just talk to you on the phone and ask you these simple questions than have you get, a criminal traffic citation or whatever it is for DWSR. So I apologize for that. I'll see what I can do with that situation.
Please, because oh my God, I'm doing so good.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Not my intention at all. So he's out there probably somewhere, using, so I mean, we consider him to be endangered at this point.
See, I didn't really know anything about all that, but Raheem told me yesterday about it, and
Raheem knows that he's prone to kind of fall off the wagon on occasion, so that's kind of what we're doing, and it's just one of those situations where, we've eventually, he's gonna, we'll find him in detox or something like that. I'm pretty sure. I hope, but or in a crack house somewhere. But it is what it is. As far as you guys don't have any other roommates, right? It's just you and him.
Just me and him.
Okay. All right. How long?
It's only a 2-bedroom house.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Sorry. I need to I need to at least ride by and look at it. You mentioned Raheem a minute ago. How well do you know Raheem's last name?
Dan? I don't know how to spell it, but it's Danzer or something like that.
Danzer? Okay. How long have you been knowing him?
Since October, I think. About 3 months.
Did you meet him through George?
Through George, yeah.
All right. I'm trying to phrase this without planting seeds in your head or anything, but what's your thoughts on him?
He's an alright guy. I know he works at GNC. He works out a lot.
Nothing sketchy about him or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna have to ask you a series of questions, and I'm gonna need some back and forth to try to get some of the information that I need.
Okay.
And I'll be straight up. I talked to, just a second ago when I was out there, I talked to the guy that, the cop that made contact with you there. And now we're concerned as to where George's car is, because we know that it was there earlier today, now it's gone. We're not worried about like a stolen vehicle charge or anything like that, because it's my understanding from reading the original report, I guess you have access to the car.
Yes, sir.
So, but we need to look at the car.
Yes, sir.
Do you know where the car's at?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to advise you of your rights now, because you've been arrested for DWSR. Here's the thing, Steve. I don't care about DWSR, so I'm not gonna ask you about DWSR so that you don't incriminate yourself about DWSR. Because all I'm worried about is trying to find George.
Right.
So,
right.
but because you're technically in custody, because they did bring you up in your handcuffs, I have to advise you of your rights. So now we're going to take something that could have taken 5 minutes in your front yard, and we've just turned it into a big deal. I apologize. So I'm going to read these to you. You have the right to remain silent. Anything.
You can almost feel how badly they want Stephen to feel comfortable after this apology from the detective.
All right. So, you and Jorge, when did you first meet Jorge?
In October.
Okay. How did y'all meet?
At this place called Oxford House.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
It's a sober living community, kind of.
Where's it at? I hadn't heard of it.
It's over Barberville Drive.
All right. Were y'all both staying there, or just?
George was staying there, and I was doing outreach for reentry.
For re-injury? Is that
reentry?
Re-entry. Okay.
Like people coming from jails and institutions.
Gotcha. As far as you know, like what was, if he's there, does he have a substance abuse issue, or did he at the time that he was struggling with?
From what I understand, I guess he was in rehab or like a Bakerette or whatever, and after he got out of that, him and his ex-husband, Don, agreed for him to go to the Oxford House for a little while.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you know what his drug of choice was?
No.
The situation with Don, I know that you mentioned you call him ex-husband. I don't think they're quite like divorced yet, but they're in the process of it, you know what I mean? What's the situation like between them?
I know they talk every day. Other than that, I don't really know.
So they're like splitting up, but they're still friendly with each other? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't know what kind of drugs that he's into.
I know he's been smoking a lot of weed and he's been drinking. That's the only thing that I know about right now.
Okay. Is he drinking like so much? Would you consider him like an alcoholic? Or?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Did you have substance abuse issues?
No.
Okay. Alcohol issues? All right. So you going to Barberville is just like a reentry from like DOC or something like that?
I was actually helping people coming from DOC.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you got to clarify that out.
Yeah.
You know. So, all right. Again, a lot of these questions might seem like I'm casting dispersions on George or Don or whoever. I'm not. I'm really just trying to get to understand him and figure out where he could be. But I know he's broken up from Don. Is he having sexual relationships or any kind of relationships with other guys?
I know he's on a dating site called Grindr, and he met a guy named Jeff.
Jeff. How long ago was that?
It's been about a month, probably.
Okay. Were they seeing each other more than once or twice, or? Have you ever seen Jeff?
Mm-mm.
He just told you about him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know if he's a black male or a white male?
I think he's white. I'm pretty sure. And I know he's married and has 2 kids.
So the last time, when was the last time that you saw him?
On Tuesday. He sent me a text and asked me to get him some weed. So I tried to get him some weed, but I couldn't. About an hour after that, I left to go see my girlfriend. When I got back to the house, he wasn't there. I went to sleep.
Okay. So you were at home when he sent you the text?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And where, do you know where he was?
In the living room.
Huh?
In the living room.
Y'all were both home?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At this moment, just for a second, Detective Roberts thought what Stephen had just said was a Freudian slip.
Why wouldn't he just ask you?
That's just the way he is.
All right. And you said when you left he was gone?
No, when I left he was there, but when I got back he wasn't there.
All right. How long did it take you to get back?
I probably left at like 12:30, 1 o'clock. I got back at 11:20 or 12. I went to sleep. I woke up.
You said you left at 12:30 or 1 and you got back at what time?
Like 11 or 12 from my girlfriend's house.
And again, I'm not the weed police. Did you go out and try to get weed and you couldn't get it, so you called him back?
I just called somebody and they said they didn't have any.
All right. Sorry, so you come back 10 hours later and he's gone.
Yeah.
And was the house locked up? Was it secure? Was it?
The house was locked. So when I came in, I went to sleep because I thought he was in his bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up at like 3 o'clock, and I knocked on his door and nobody answered, so I opened up. He wasn't in there.
3 a.m. or 3 p.m.?
3 a.m.
Okay.
And I sent him a text and asked him where he was, and he never sent him back.
He's called you or you called him since
I've sent him a bunch of texts and I've tried to call him. It's going straight to voicemail.
Is that common for him to?
I've never seen him like that. But like I said, when I talked to Raheem said he knew about it.
Yeah.
So, and when I did the report last night, I let Raheem and the police, walk to the house or whatever. I guess they seen the liquor bottles or whatever.
I'm not worried about the car, but I'm gonna have to find it. The same 2 officers that were sitting at your house this evening, there were 2 other officers that were sitting out there when the other guy met you. From my understanding, they've been sitting on the house all day. And I can't remember what time it was, but they saw the car leave your house. And I think you were in it, is my understanding. And that was shortly before or after lunch today.
Right, I only got something and came back.
Yeah. So where did you go to get something to eat at?
McDonald's.
Which one?
On Magnolia.
Chick-fil-A's right across the street, man. Just saying. Alright. So where'd the car go?
I don't know. I guess George came and got it or something. I don't know.
Well, you went and got food.
Mm-hmm.
And you took it back to the house to eat it.
Yes, sir.
And then you went inside and ate.
Mm-hmm.
And then you left to go somewhere.
Yeah, I left.
To your friend's house over off of the Parkway.
No, I went to my girlfriend's work.
Kelly was his girlfriend, but even she had no idea what Stephen had gotten into.
What time did you go to your girlfriend's work?
I'm gonna say probably. I have to look at my phone. Probably 3, maybe.
Okay. Where does she work at?
Capital City Jewelers.
How did you get to her work?
I walked.
Okay. Where's it located?
Right there on Main, right up the street from the house.
So when you came out of the house and you walked there, you didn't notice the car was gone?
The car was there when I left.
Okay, I gotcha. Alright. And when, oh, excuse me. So after you went to her work, did she drive, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you went to her place or wherever?
We went to her house, hung out there for a minute, and then we went to my friend's house after that.
Okay, Is she still living there?
No. Pretty sure she's home.
Up to this point, the detective has allowed Stephen to talk freely. He has let him build his web of lies. Now he'll begin tightening the net. How did George just vanish? Why didn't he call the police? Why is there evidence that he used George's debit card? Now is when Detective Roberts is going to be straightforward and call him out, but gently.
All right, I gotta find that car, so... And I don't necessarily believe what you're telling me, because I think you're worried that I don't know, worried about your DWSR. I'm not.
I am worried about the DWSR,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm telling you everything is true.
So your friend's house on the Parkway, where's that located at? And what's the friend's name?
His name is Mohammed.
What is it?
Mohammed.
Okay, give me a second.
Man, I just can't get over. Please, man, I just got to be aware I cannot get arrested for driving on a suspended license.
Hurry up, don't worry.
Oh,
Don't worry.
Jesus.
So again, so one of the issues I'm having is you were seen leaving with a car today, and then you didn't come back. So that's the problem I have. It wasn't like I went to McDonald's, came back, ate food, and
That's the only time I use the car today.
But I can tell you that George didn't come and get it because the officers were out there. So I know that George didn't come and get it. So you got to help me out with the car. If I'm doing you a solid with this DWSR, you got to help me out with the car.
Right. Like I said, the only time I used the car today, I got up, went to McDonald's, got something to eat, came back, ate, talked to Kelly. She wanted something to eat, walked to her job, got the car, went to Olive Garden, got her something to eat, came back and sat up there until she got off.
Okay. So why would you walk to her job? I mean, you've been using this car for everything else, and I get the whole...
Because we were going to spend the night together.
Yeah, the whole thing that we're not mentioning, the DWSR again, I don't care about that. But I mean, you drove to McDonald's, which is on Magnolia. Where's Capital City George at? It's on
Mayhem. It's right there on the front street.
Oh, fuck, Steve. I'll level with you. And this is a homicide unit of the Tallahassee Police Department that you're sitting in right now. And I'm a homicide detective. Alright? Where we're at right now is there's forensic technicians that are serving a search warrant at the residence, and they're going over it with luminol and Blue Star and everything else, looking for traces of evidence, blood.
You think something happened to him? You think something happened to him?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at, and that's one reason why you're sitting here.
You think I had something? I did something to him?
Where's his car?
I don't know.
You know?
Sir. Oh no.
Yeah. So shit got real, so I need you to be real with me here. If you didn't do anything, then I need some God honest answers to the questions that I have. All right.
Look at that smile. Stephen still thinks there's a chance he might talk his way out of this. It's not confidence. It's, oh crap, I really thought I could charm my way out of this, and now I'm halfway to prison energy. It's emotional survival tactic, a last-ditch effort to project innocence by pretending even he can't believe he's being accused. I recently released another Patreon-exclusive video, this time showing a woman who drove so recklessly she ended up plunging into a house, killing all 4 of her passengers, who happened to be her friends and co-workers. Watch her interrogation plus many more Patreon-exclusive videos at patreon.com/Stranger Stories Plus.
I can tell you that I know that he was talking to his mother on Sunday. I can tell you that he was at work Monday morning, and he got his paycheck and he went and cashed it. And then after that, everything kind of gets a little squirrely. He doesn't go to work the next day. His phone is used to send an email to his place at work with a really short message that's uncharacteristic of him, saying that he'll be in the next day. Of course, he doesn't go in the next day. And then we start seeing some really suspicious activity on his phone. That kind of worries me a lot. You know, one of the first questions I have is, why is he not answering his phone? Okay. Why, even though he's missing, is that phone probably still at the house at Alachua based on GPS records?
I haven't seen his phone.
Okay. The only outgoing activity on his phone that seems to be legitimate is text messages he sent to you on the 4th and on the 5th.
The last time I talked to him was Tuesday. And I even showed the police, or the officer last night in my phone.
Okay. I'm going to need to see those.
Okay.
Do you have your phone with you?
No.
Who has it?
I guess the officer.
What kind of phone do you have?
A02 Motorola.
Okay. How often would you say you drive this car?
All the time. I mean, not all the time, but a lot.
Now this was definitely a Freudian slip. A little too honest, a little too soon.
Before that, how often have you driven the vehicle?
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, yeah.
Okay. So there's people that are smarter than me in our tech ops unit that track phones and go over phone records and stuff like that.
Yes,
So when I see something like a person's pattern of phone calls changes drastically from one day to the next, it makes me feel like in this particular case, a certain event happened on the night of the 3rd and the 4th. That something happened. Because then on the 4th, which is, what, Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
So Monday night, Tuesday morning, early morning hours, something happens drastically. And then Jorge doesn't arrive for work. And there's a email sent from his phone early in the morning.
Okay.
That staff at the law firm that he works at says it's uncharacteristic he has to type that way. All right? Makes me think somebody's using his phone to send a text message that says, I'm not coming in.
Okay.
Because we're buying time. And then when I see a text message at 11:05, and bear in mind, I'm not seeing him call anybody else, I'm not seeing him text anybody else. And then at 11:05, I see him text you, and like you said, I think you told the officers the exact same thing, so your story's consistent there. He asked me for weed. Well, one of the problems I have with that text message and where you say you were at the time is this. You're in a 900-foot square house. He's on the sofa, you're in the bedroom, he texts you for weed. He texts you for weed instead of yelling at you for weed. That don't make no damn sense. But that's but it's a good answer for somebody that was thinking about, oh shit, they're gonna realize that his phone was at the house and my phone was at the house at the same time. Why would he send a text message to me and why would I respond? It's almost like, look at me, Steve.
Sir, you're wrong.
It's almost like somebody's sitting there with two phones. Like somebody's sitting there sending a message to George's phone and replying to George's phone to make it look like George is still alive.
If you look at the past, that's how he talks to me.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk to me.
Okay. All right. And then all of his outgoing between the 4th and the 5th is just to you. So on the 5th, he's texting you too on his phone records. So on Wednesday, he's still texting you.
The last text I got from him asked me if my dude was still out.
Mm-hmm. What day was that?
That was on Tuesday.
Okay.
So I came back, or I came out of the room and told him that I would call.
Mm-hmm.
I called, dude said he was still out.
Yeah.
That was it.
You can see it now. He knows. The panic isn't loud, but it's there. He's already realized he's messed up. but he's still playing dress-up in the character he's built, still trying to keep the act alive.
Sir, y'all are wrong.
If there was an accident, if there was an OD...
Sir, I haven't seen him, I swear, I don't...
Because we'll find him. Remember, we'll find the car.
Yes, sir.
Alright, they're going over to the house with a fine-tooth comb.
Yes, sir.
So, you might want to get ahead of that.
I have nothing to worry about, sir, because I don't know anything. I swear.
I can assure you that if you didn't do anything, you don't have anything to worry about.
Okay. I mean, I'm just worried about this whole pulling up with no license thing, man. That would be a fucked up thing to go to jail for, man.
Yeah. Is there really a guy on Myers Park Lane where you and Kelly were at?
What do you mean, is there really a guy?
Because we just got Kelly at room 231 at Motel 6.
Motel 6, that's
Yeah, not at Myers Park Lane.
right.
Yeah. Is that where y'all were?
Yes.
Okay, why'd you lie to me about that?
Because she told me not to tell her that she was at the motel room.
Sure. We're gonna have to come back to the car issue before we conclude things.
Okay.
If nothing else, because I know for a fact that the car was there at 103, because I saw it. Officers saw you departing in the car. It didn't come back. I rode out there to where they were at 217, and the car still wasn't there. And they saw you leave in it. Okay? They saw you leave in the car. Okay? And this isn't the McDonald's run. This is you leaving in the car and not coming back. I can't get around that.
So the guy, Muhammad, he's a drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
He just asked me if he used the car, and I told him yeah.
Does he really live on Myers Park Lane?
To be honest with you, I'm not really sure where he lives, but I know his girlfriend lives in Hollyfield.
To be fair, credibility wasn't something Stephen walked in with, but if there was even a thread left hanging, he just lit a match to it.
Steve, I've been doing this for 20 years. I spent half of that in narcotics before I came to homicide. Is it meth or what are you guys into?
I'm not into anything. He gave me $100 to use the car. Listen, man.
Just a feeling.
Listen, I swear to God, I don't know what happened to George. I really don't.
Okay, let's back up a second. Let me say I take it with a grain of salt that you didn't do anything to George. You'd be in a position that you did. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Just all the suspicious activity going on, you know? His car getting loaned out, phone calls, all that mess.
All y'all have to do is go through my phone and see that the last time I talked to him was Tuesday.
You lied to me about leaving in the car and about where the car is. You lied to me about where you guys were right before you had contact with us. There's no Myers Park Lane address that you guys were at. You are at the Motel 6. Listen, I can sit here and confront you with everything that she told me. But I don't know that there's any reason for that at all. Something bad has happened, and we need to find out what that is, and you need to tell us.
What do you mean, something? Listen, I let Muhammad use the car. That is... Oh my God, no, I should have did that.
She says a couple days ago you told her that George was going to Miami.
trying to cover for him. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if he was out drinking or not. Same thing I told Raheem last night.
She says that when you were in Ross tonight, she asked you if George got back from Miami. What did you tell her?
I said, yeah. I said, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's exactly what I said.
When she asked you about where his car was, what did you tell her?
I told her that it was at the house.
At whose house?
Don's.
Why'd you tell her that?
Because I didn't want her to know that I rented it out.
What have you been in prison for?
Theft.
Not murder, not even manslaughter, just death. As if the act was passive, as if life just ended. I mean, that's not a reason. That's a consequence.
Man, I didn't do nothing to George.
Do you know who George's people are?
I know he has a brother in Miami that used to be the mayor. Me and him just took a trip down there and spent like 4 days with his mom.
Yeah. You and George were not getting along?
He didn't like Kelly. Kelly kind of lived with us for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like her staying there.
Yeah. Why didn't you like her staying there?
Because me and her fought a lot.
Did you tell somebody you had a fight with George?
No.
Did you have a physical fight with George?
No.
Did you kill George?
No.
Have you ever fought with George?
God, no. No.
Where's George's phone at?
I don't know.
It was at the house when you and Kelly were there on Wednesday night.
No.
Yes.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And GPS records put it at the house. It's put it at the house the whole time until it went dead or it was turned off. Kelly said that she was at the house with you on Wednesday night.
She did.
Yeah. Because, what was it, the night before? You told her that she had some good news. She went over to her house. What did you tell her?
Nothing. I just asked her if she would stay with me.
Mm-hmm. You told her that George was going to Miami?
No.
That's what she says.
The only thing I said about Miami was the other day, just because I was just trying to cover for him. That was just like 2 days ago. Or maybe it was even yesterday or something like that.
She said that you drove over to her house at 11 o'clock at night to tell her the good news in George's BMW.
And the more you look into the timeline, the more it unravels. He used George's credit cards, his name, his resources. You don't do that when you expect the man to come back.
That George was going to Miami, and she'd be able to come over to the house and hang and spend the night, which was good because George didn't really like her being there, so she had to be able to come hang for a while. Then Wednesday night, she's over there watching the big screen TV in the living room. When the phone, she hears the phone over there on the desk go off, and she gets up and she moves some papers around the desk, and lo and behold, there's George's phone. And she asks you, isn't this weird that George's phone is still here?
That's not true.
And then she said, you told her, yeah, that is weird because I've been calling him.
I have been calling him.
Mm-hmm. Which, and we both looked at the phone records.
Mm-hmm.
You've been blowing him up.
Yes.
No doubt. No doubt. But it'll be weird because you've been calling him for days, but the phone's in the house.
The phone is in the house right now?
She sees the phone in the house. She hears it go off. But you've been calling for days and you didn't hear it go off the whole time you were calling.
I have not seen his phone.
And GPS has put that phone in the house the whole time until it shut off. So I'm going to ask you again, where's the phone at?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen any phone. I haven't seen no phone.
You've never had anything like this happen before, have you?
No.
What happened?
What do you mean, what happened? Nothing. I don't know.
Exactly what I mean.
I don't know. I don't know. I just been spinning my wheels trying to figure out what to do about this George thing.
Listen. No, you listen to me. If something was an accident, okay, there is premeditated homicide.
Listen.
No, you need
I have not done anything to George. Nothing.
Well, then what happened?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Why are there sheets missing from his bed?
Sheets missing from his bed?
Yeah. The comforter, the top sheet of his bed, why is it gone?
His blanket is on the couch.
Is it?
Yes.
Why is the TV gone from the living room?
There is no TV in the living room.
You're telling me there never was a TV in the living room?
The only TV that was ever in there was the one Kelly brought over there, and it's in my room now.
Okay. Was there a TV in the living room Wednesday night?
No.
Okay. Something happened to George. Something that was probably an accident.
Sir.
Okay. You've taken his credit cards and you've used them?
With permission.
Why? Why would you do that? Especially if he's going on a trip to Miami, which is what you've been telling everybody.
Sir. He asked me to put gas in the car.
So he gave you 2 cars to put gas in the car. You didn't just put gas in the car though. You went
Right.
shopping. You withdrew $100. Then you went and used the debit card to buy gas. You went to the mall. There's some more.
He told me I could use it.
This guy that's trying to get you out of his house because of the situation with Kelly.
When me and Kelly stopped talking,
Mhm.
when she left the house,
Yeah.
that was it. It was over with. He said I was good. He said he didn't want her in his house. That was the whole issue.
Do me a favor, sit in that chair, buddy. The more we go down this road, and I want you to listen, I don't want you to interject. I want you to listen, I want you to pay attention, because I'm serious about this. I don't have any malice in my heart against you. I'm not mad at you, I'm not upset with you. I don't get off on arresting people for murder or for anything else. This is my job. Just listen to me. Before you get all panicky, I want you to listen. I honestly, I don't. In situations, and I'm not talking about this situation, I'm talking about in all situations, okay? I just, I feel for everybody involved. The person that loses their life, the family. I feel for the person who did it because that changes their life forever. A lot of times it's, some thug shooting another thug over drugs or, the color of a bandana, whatever gang they think they're in. It's bullshit like that. Sometimes, people get high, they do things that they wouldn't normally do. And it's because they have a sickness. It's because they have an addiction. I can understand that. The problem we have, you're the only one that can tell a story. Okay? There is a difference. There is a difference between somebody who kills somebody out of anger. All right? Who kills somebody out of anger and then to profit from it by taking their car, taking their credit cards, selling items out of the house, getting rid of stuff, doing whatever, okay? There's a certain level of premeditation that goes with that. And premeditation, of course, is the pinnacle of homicide, all right? That's going to prison for the rest of your life. That's capital punishment, all right?
I did nothing to George. I swear to God, I haven't seen him. I did nothing to him.
And then there is a person who does something that they wouldn't normally do because they're high. We start talking about manslaughter and things like that. Okay? A lot lesser penalty, a lot lesser charge. I think there has to be some rational explanation there has to be some reason that this occurred. I do not, for the life of me, believe for a second that your girlfriend is lying about seeing that phone in the house.
I haven't seen any.
The reason I say that is because we know that the phone is consistent with that location. We know that's where it is. People smarter than me that work in this building, that figure things out like that, tell me that's where the phone is. All right? I do not like some of the answers that you've given me. I do not like you trying to tell me that on that morning he texted you about the weed, okay? And he texted you from the living room when you're in the bedroom, all right? I know, you know, that you sent that text to your phone.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
The walls are closing in, and Stephen knows it. But that won't stop him from throwing one last Hail Mary. Desperation is a hell of a motivator.
There's property missing from the house. You've got his debit cards. You've given his car to a drug dealer. I'm not sure if you realize what you just did there.
What do you mean?
I take pretty good notes. It's not because I don't have a good memory. But I don't always want to rely on it. So, as we've been discussing this, and especially during the time periods of our conversations that we have discussed, those texts that occurred on Tuesday afternoon, when he supposedly wanted you to go get him some weed. And again, these text messages where he's sitting on the sofa and you're in the bedroom of the same house. This is what you have said. We texted about weed while we're both in the house. I couldn't get in the weed. I didn't want to get in the weed. Then, a little bit later on, a couple hours later, I borrow his car. He gives me the credit card, tells me to put some gas in it, and I leave. I leave on Tuesday. I am away from the house until about, you told me about 12:30 or so. Well, you said 12:22 or 12:20.
12:20 is when I got back to the house.
Mm-hmm.
We're good.
Okay, 12:20. Okay. When you got back home at 12:20, and you said you went in your bedroom and you went to sleep?
Yes.
Okay. And you told me that you woke up about 3 a.m.
Yes.
You woke up about 3 a.m. And you went and knocked on George's door.
Yes.
Why'd you knock on his door at 3 a.m.?
To see if he was in there.
Mm-hmm. So this will be 3 a.m. actually Wednesday morning.
Because I haven't seen him.
Yeah. This will be 3 a.m. Wednesday morning, right? Okay. Because Tuesday was the day about the weed. Tuesday was the day he gave you the car. Tuesday was the day he gave you the credit cards. Tuesday was the day that you drove his car to pick up your girl from work. You drive her home. You say you leave Tuesday around 8 p.m. You drive back home. You hang out for a little while, and then you're going to call her and tell her the good news. And you drive back over to her house, and you guys are sitting outside in front of the house. You tell her the good news that what, George is going to Miami and you can come over? Is that?
Not tell her that. I just told her about the Miami thing like 2 days ago.
Okay. And that's what she says.
Right. I did not.
Yeah.
No. No. I drove back to her house, and I told her that I wanted her to stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, what about George?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what about George? And she said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I came back home. I went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up at like 3 o'clock. Still ain't heard nothing from George. You can even ask Kelly, because George is up all throughout the night. I ain't heard nothing from George. So I knocked on the door. No answer. I opened the door. He wasn't in there. Closed the door. That's it.
Is Kelly capable of doing something to George?
No. What?
What about Kelly's friends?
Kelly's not even from here.
She's from Perry.
Right.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. George that you care about so much. It's almost like you're not caring. You're not expecting him to come back. Because,
what do you mean?
Well, here, take his... Here, Mr. Drug Dealer, take his car. Do you think the tablet's going to be in the trunk of the car when you get it back?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
$10 says it's not.
He gave me permission to use that card.
Did he give you permission to use every dime he had? Did he? Did he say, Stephen, even though I have been trying to kick you out of my house?
He hasn't been trying to kick me out of the house. He got mad about this stuff with Kelly being there.
He got mad about drug use is what he told everybody else. I'm not going to violate like the sanctity of AA meetings and everything, but yeah, once we get into that realm and we look at everything that has occurred after he disappeared, the lies, the use of the card, a witness saying his phone was in the house, our electronic expert saying his phone was in the house, now the phone's not there, the car being loaned out, all the freaky phone activity. Now we start talking about premeditation. This had to be planned.
Listen.
This had to be planned. This must be premeditated homicide. We must have wanted to kill this guy for profit, to steal everything he has. That is a whole different ball game. That's the big leagues. All right? Now, it is a lot different.
Y'all are reading this wrong. I had nothing to do with George. Nothing.
Then you need to start telling me something.
I'm telling you everything I know. I haven't seen him since Tuesday. I haven't seen him since Tuesday. I haven't. I've been trying to cover for him. I don't know what to do. I don't know where he's at.
I hope that's the truth.
It is.
Because if it's not, I'll get you.
Watch this loop. The second things get real, Stephen's volume goes up, and the lies get looser. When threatened, Stephen raises volume to regain dominance.
Because with everything that's happened, all these things that have happened after the fact that you say are innocent things, okay? And they could be. They're not good. But once this becomes officially a murder, everything that you have done after the fact points to you as being the suspect. Everything that you've done after the fact, all these things that we've been talking about, points to premeditation. It points to you killing him for profit to steal his stuff. Now, there's another explanation. If you did something to him accidentally, if there was a fight, it got out of hand,
I haven't done nothing to him.
He fell, he hit his head, that's accidental.
I haven't done anything to him.
If you did something accidentally to him, you need to tell me now. You need to tell me now.
I have done nothing to George. Nothing. Nothing.
How high were you Monday night?
It wasn't just identity theft. It was the entitlement. He used George's cards to buy Kelly a phone.
It wasn't just weed, was it?
Yes. That's it.
All right. I'm going to write this down. So I remember it. I don't want to put words in your mouth later. 200, Tuesday, phone for Kelly. And are you sure it was a man or not?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back and double check that. It wasn't the one on the Parkway?
No.
Okay, I get it. All right. So, again, Tuesday, $200 purchase for a phone for Kelly. Have you texted Kelly since then? Since she got her new phone?
Yeah.
Have you called her on it?
Yeah.
Have you texted her on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, why would Kelly erase all the text messages that she has from you on that new phone?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm asking
All
you.
mine are in my phone.
Well, I hope.
I know.
What kind of phone you got?
AO2 Motorola.
Oh, Samsung brand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're there.
They're there.
Even the ones you deleted are there, brother. Yeah, no doubt about that. Huh. What did you and Kelly fight about that was so bad on Thursday? A girl is what I heard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some other chick. Has that other chick been to the house?
Nope.
To meet George? Has she been to the house with George not there?
She's never been to the house.
Okay. How did she find out about this other girl?
She went through my phone.
She went through your phone? Does she have permission to go through your phone?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't tell her no.
When y'all were at the hotel tonight, did she go through your phone tonight?
I think she said she looked at my phone.
Yeah. Okay. So what did she see that upset her? Were you hooking up with some other girl, or some other girl was calling you or something?
Tonight?
No.
Oh.
When she got mad Thursday.
This girl Taylor.
Taylor. That's. I like that name. She blonde?
Yeah.
How old is she?
I don't know.
Yeah. Younger than you?
I'm not really sure. I talked to her a couple days.
Yeah.
Like.
So. She sees text messages. You probably ain't never done nothing with Taylor. Maybe you have. I don't know. So that pisses her off. So Thursday, y'all break up.
Mm-hmm.
But you talked to her since Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
What have y'all talked about?
What do you mean? What are we talking about?
I mean, you said y'all broke up on. Like when I asked you, like, well, why would she say these things? You know, about George's phone being there, there being a TV in the living room, about you telling her, hey, good news, babe. George is going to Miami. You can come over to the house Wednesday night. Why would she? I asked you, why would she make these things up about you? And you said she broke up. We broke up on Thursday. So she must be mad.
The Miami thing I just told her.
Yeah. She says it happened earlier. She says it was like, good news. George is going to Miami. You can come over to the house on Wednesday night. And that was Tuesday at 11 p.m. when you told her that. That's what she says. And I said, why would she lie on you like that? And you said, well, we broke up. She got mad at me on Thursday. We broke up. But she didn't stay mad at you. Because the other night at 8:42, you guys are sitting in a car at Fred George Park when the deputy rolls up. And she talks to y'all. She runs your name. She tells us where you parked at. You know, she did her job. So you guys didn't stay broken up. So my point is, whatever happened with Taylor on Thursday night is not enough to make her put you in the hot seat for George's disappearance. Because she's not that mad at you about Taylor.
Right, okay.
Because she was with you the other night at the park.
Right.
She went to Ross tonight, we'll say tonight. She went to Ross for you tonight to buy lingerie so that y'all could spend the night in the motel at Motel 6. For the life of me, I can't understand why she just wouldn't come back to like your place, why we want to go stay in the Motel 6, whatever. She said she's been wanting to stay in a motel for a while. You know, maybe the house has got bad vibes because of what happened in it. I don't know.
Nothing happened in that house. I have done nothing to George.
No, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
No, I'm looking at everything.
The detective cycles through psychological cues with firm tone, silences, physical proximity, and everything else to provoke a slip. You can tell he is experimenting here, trying to find the perfect angle to make Stephen sweat.
But if he winds up dead, with everything you've done since he disappeared, the lies you told, first to me, then to her, everybody else, the stuff that's happened with his property, his money, his car, all the phone evidence, saying that phone's in the damn house, or at least it was until it powered down.
I haven't seen the phone.
You're gonna be fucked.
I haven't seen no phone.
And I'm not talking about fucks like Taylor was gonna fuck you. You're gonna be fucked.
Roberts throws a thread, and then there's a plot twist that would change everything for Stephen.
Come on in, Kelly. Kelly, is there a TV in the living room?
Yeah.
Hey, why are you doing that?
Doing what?
Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, there is a Patreon link in the description where you can support the channel further. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.